Welcome to Legacy Sips and Tips podcast with your geeky host, Lindsay Wheeler, where we talk about everything from death, preparing for your future through estate planning, life, the occasional breakup, entrepreneurship, general nerdery, and of course travel, snowboard, and always wine. Welcome to Legacy Sips and Tips with your host, Lindsay, and today we're going to talk about another one of my favorite topics, cats, kitties. Hello, kitty. It's perfect timing that she wanted to come sit up here. She's always up in the business. Ooh, big stretch. It is compulsory and mandatory that if any animal stretches, you must say big stretch. You must. You just must. I don't care if it's a lizard. You say, ooh, big stretch. That's just how that works. Anywho, here is the kitties. Hello, kitty. They are one of my most favorite animals, if not favorite animals. I just love them so much. They are just sweet, sweet creatures. They are also a exercise and consent, if you will, as well. So a lot of people are like cat people, dog people. I love dogs too. I love all animals, let's be real. But kitties are special in the sense that they're kind of independent. They're kind of unique in that way that they don't necessarily need a bunch of guiding, if you will, like dogs do. But they are also just as friendly and reliable and emotionally connective as dogs are as well, and other animals. So why I say they're an exercise in consent is that pretty much with any dog, you're like, come here, dog, I'll come pet you. They'll come and you can pet them for the most part, right? Cats, you are on their terms. You act when they want to. You're not able to, really come and make them do what you want them to do. So they're kind of an exercise in consent in that way of like, hey, are you okay with this? Is that cool? That's great. Oh, it's nice for you? Or nope, we don't want you to doing that anymore? No problem. So that's what's kind of cool about kitties. Again, they're kind of independent, more so than dogs. I always say dogs are like little toddlers that you kind of have to babysit constantly in a lot of ways. Kitties, no. You've got a cranky 13-year-old when you have a cat, which is really fun. They're super affectionate. I don't like when people really say, oh, they're so aloof and they're just not cuddly, functional animals and they're, not really, affectionate animals. Absolutely not. These guys are like love horrors. They want to just be on your business the whole time. They want to be on your lap. They come snuggle with you. They're friendly. The black and white one that I have there, she is like a little dog. She is up in everyone's business. You come over, you sit down, you got the cat in your lap. She is checking you out, making sure you're cool. So I love kitties that way. My friend describes them as little dog monkeys, if you will, because they're curious like dogs, are always into stuff, but they're like monkeys because then they can jump around and they can get into stuff and they cause kind of, they're curious, they want to play with things, what have you. A big thing or a soapbox for me is keeping your cats indoors. I know people are like, oh, but the kitty wants to go out. It's the nature of the cat to go out. No, it's not. All the outdoor for them is another room, if you will, in your house that they have yet to explore. So it's exciting for them, it's different, but it's super dangerous for them. There's traffic, there's coyotes or whatever predators you have in your area, other animals, if you will. The cars, like I said, birds, prey birds, disease, all sorts of stuff out there that's dangerous for them. That's not advantageous for them. Also with that, cats are the most apt predator out there. They just are 10 pounds, if you will. They are meant to be predators. They are meant to hunt. Their whole being is meant to do that. With that, if you let them out, they kind of wreak havoc on the ecosystem around them, killing birds, killing small animals, kind of messing up that ecosystem, if you will, for the naturalness of having this now little panther out there killing things because that's just their nature, okay? Another thing that people don't know, or fun fact about cats, is when they bring you dead animals, so you do have an outdoor cat, if you will, shame on you. No shame, but shame. And they bring you like a lizard or they bring you a mouse or a part of a rabbit or whatever, and they bring that back to you. It's because they think of you as their kitten and you're a terrible hunter. And they want to make sure that you survive and you're fed because they feel like they don't see you hunt and they don't see you doing that you're unable to do that for yourself. And so they're actually helping you out to survive in their little pride, if you will, little lion pride. So that's kind of a fun thing about cats is they are very communal. They are very loving and very thought-provoking with the people around them that they are trying to help out and keep contained. So, with having cats or any animal, you should have your estate plan for your pets, if you will. Of course, this is what I do. And of course, in my estate plan, I have what happens to my animals, whether they're my chickens, whether I have rabbits or whatever other critters, but primarily my cats. I will never not have a cat. Let's be real with that. I will always have a cat in my life. I've always had them since I was born. I will always have them. My little 92-year-old who I took care of, she's one of the reasons why I got into cats. I think more so too than I already was. Not that I didn't have my own, but she would take in the strays of the neighborhood. And at one point she had, I think, 13 cats that the neighborhood kids would come and, we'd name them and everything. So cats have just been in my life. I just think they're super cool creatures. Of course, in medieval times, they were used for purposeful things of like granaries and keeping down pests. They still use them today. You'll see barn cats, like usually have feral cats that can't really be around people, but they serve purpose. Well, they'll have them fixed and spayed or neutered and kept in barns to keep the mice control or the rodent control down, or even in breweries. So if you don't like cats but you like beer, you might want to reevaluate that, because the cats are usually in the breweries as well, making sure that they're keeping the mice and the vermin off of your grains when they're making the beer. So that's pretty fun as well. Fun fact about cats in history. Also, of course, the Egyptians worshiped them because they're just cool little creatures. So, of course, for me, for my estate plan, I have my cats included there, or my animals, and I have, again, those terms in that pet trust of the certain amount of money that's going to go to the person who's going to take care of them, who my caretakers are going to be, and how I want them to be raised. Like the food that I feed them, they're on a very special diet because they're bougie, let's be real. And, certain things that they like to have, and making sure that they're comfortable and they live a life that they want to, because if I wasn't here, they would be really bummed. And when I travel, that's obvious. When I come back, like they are very needy. They want to be in my business. They don't want to be away from me. Like they miss me. And so cats do get attached to their people. And so when people say, oh, they're so aloof or they're so this, and they don't have personalities or they don't have that love, they absolutely do. Absolutely love their people. So important for them to be taken care of that way and loved. So in my estate plan, of course, I have them going to my friend who loves cats as well. Right now she is rehabilitating some kitties right now that she found a feral cat that had a litter, and so she is basically acclimatizing these little kittens so they're not little feral kittens and can go to really happy, healthy homes. For me, I have my cats going to her because I know she will do the best. She probably take care of them better than I do, let's be honest. Her cats are spoiled beyond belief, but making sure that she knows what type of food that they eat, what kind of veterinarian care that they need, how they like to be lived and taken care of, and making sure that she's going to fulfill those wishes for me from there. If she's not able to, then of course I have another friend who will do that for me. And if not, I have like cat sanctuaries that I can have them go to, that I have put money in place for them to go there if those two people are not available. So it's super important to have that laid out for you, for your animals, whether they're dogs, cats, horses, turtles, chickens, whatever it is, whatever you have, making sure that those plans are in place, because if you're not here, often than not, they just get dumped away, and it's really, really sad. So making sure you have a plan in place for them to where they go, where you want them to go. So kitties are very emotionally intuitive animals. If you're sad or you don't feel good, like they're up in your business. They will be there. Like when I wasn't feeling well and not doing so good, like they were like on me. Like she wouldn't leave me. She would making sure she'd follow me around the house, which normally she doesn't do that, but she knew that I wasn't feeling well. I'd lay on the couch and she would come snuggle with me. Cats, and this is a super interesting fact, is that cats purring, the purr vibrates at a certain frequency that actually heals bones. So that's a fun fact that I didn't know until I broke a couple bones and somebody was like, oh, your cat's trying to heal you. So when they lay next to you, wherever you are, and they're purring, they're actually trying to help heal you faster, because one of their little lion pride members is not doing well and they want them to be better, because they're all prey hunters and they want to make sure that the whole pack is available to get those things. So inherently cats are taking care of each other in their little colonies, and you're one of those in their colony. You're just a big hairless cat that really can't hunt for itself, and they usually kind of take pity upon you, and you're like their child in a lot of ways. So the kitties are really cool and unique that way as an animal and a species. Another thing is that cats reduce stress. So a lot of times people use them as rehab, is that you can pet, when you pet a cat, probably a dog too, but with a cat, like it becomes like your heart rate reduces, your blood pressure reduces, your stress reduces. So cats are very therapeutic in a lot of ways, and they, use them as accordingly for. Another really cool thing about cats is they have introduced them into the prison setting, which a lot of people think, oh my gosh, cats in the prison, like what? They're inmates or violent criminals or whatever. They're going to abuse these animals. the complete opposite happened. They have done a couple studies in the different prisons in the U.S. where they have taken prisoners inmates, and paired them with cats that may have been either euthanized or at the shelter for a long time, and they pair them with inmates, and it actually produces kind of a harmonious environment. They are taking care of these animals, they are raising them, they actually have like cat shows of like, my cat is more pretty this way or whatever, and it has reduced the conflict within the prison and within the inmates, because they know that they're taking care of another creature, they're responsible for that, they're giving that opportunity. And again, cats are very stress relieving and very calming in that way. So they're very important in a lot of other ways where I think dogs would not be so advantageous in that kind of setting, as well as cats being a little bit more compact. So you can have a bunch of them in a whole prison cell or prison complex, and they're all working harmoniously together because now that's their whole cat colony. So look that study up. It's actually really cool and kind of neat to see of that study and that program that they did. So in today's Wine Talk, we're going to talk about this cab. It's a Stag Leaps District Napa Valley cab made by Petar is his name. He is a Bulgarian guy who makes wine in Sonoma, in Sebastopol primarily, and he sources his grapes from different varieties or different locations in that area and makes his own label. So pretty cool wine. This is a hefty bottle. Like, you put some money in this production, but great wine. Again, it's Stag's Leap from Napa. Of course, it's going to be a great wine. It's a limited edition run, and it's from Petar. That's what he's put his name on there because he's fancy. Yeah. So if you have questions about that. So here are some fun facts about cats that I'm reading off the interwebs because, that's where you get all your information from, right? This one is an interesting one I didn't know. So the cat's genome is 95.6% tiger, and they share many behaviors with their jungle ancestors, of course. Scenting, scratching, play, prey stalking, pouncing, urine marking, all of the normal things. They're the only mammal who is believed to not taste sweetness. However, with that is they have an extra organ that allows them to taste scents on the air. So when your cat smells something, then opens their mouth and it kind of gives that stinky kitty face, they're actually smelling that through the air, which is really interesting through that extra organ. They actually can jump 6 times their height, if you will, or 6 times their length, I should say. Cats are basically the most adept predator out there. They're just little, if you will. Their lifespan usually, I've had cats live to 19, 20 years old. They can go up to 25, 30 if you have a really, really, really ancient cat. I think the average lifespan of a kitty is 10 to 15 years. They are typically nocturnal creatures. They'll sleep 12 to 16 hours a day. They actually will refuse unpalatable food to the point of starvation because they're picky eaters. However, also, if you have a bowl of food and there's one spot at the bottom of the bowl, but there's food all around it, that food bowl is empty to them. That is not science, that is just personal experience, but I'm pretty sure it's science. And they will scream at you like they've never been fed in their entire life. Spaying and neutering your animals is super important. We have an overpopulation of animals already, and like Bob Barker used to say on The Price is Right, please spay or neuter your animals. It's very important, and in fact, can actually prolong their lives. So spaying or neutering a cat can extend its life. That neutered males can live an extra of 62% longer than their unneutered cats, and then spayed females live an extra 39% longer than their unspayed counterparts, if you will. It's very important. You can also tell a lot from cats' tails. They kind of will tell you what's going on with them with their tail or their ears, how they all work kind of adjunctively with each other, but typically through their tails. That's a very indicator of mood and personality of what's going on with them. This is an interesting fact. Cats will yawn as a way to end communication with another animal. So think about it as like tuck to the hand. They just go, ugh, you're so boring, and yawn at them, which I think is pretty funny. Hissing is defensive, not aggressive. It is an expression of fear, stress, or discomfort of a threatened cat communicating basically, stay away from me, I don't like you. If cats are fighting, the cat that's hissing is usually the more vulnerable one. If your cat approaches you with a straight, almost vibrating tail, again, that's the indication of their personalities, that the cat's very happy to see you. If it's swishing back and forth, it's kind of just like with you, like you're like irritated, maybe you're tapping your foot or whatever. That's what the cats are kind of doing with their tail. You can kind of exactly see what's going on with them. If a cat is wagging her tail, it's not like a dog that gets happy. It's usually telling you that it's very irritated, and usually it's on its last nerve with you. So just kind of be aware of that and give that cat its space. Never approach a cat like you would a dog or any animal, really. You kind of, again, it's a exercise in consent. Let them introduce to you. Let them know who you are. Usually let them smell you so they know, if you're familiar to them or not. Give them their space. Let them come to you. And this is why people who go, I'm not a cat person, I hate the cat, why do they always come to me? Well, because you're giving them their space. You're giving them the option what they want, and they want to come check you out because you're not in their face, and you're giving them the ability to take their time to come see you. So that's why often cats who don't know you or if you feel like you don't like cats will come, and the cat will always come to you because you're giving them their space. Also, when I talk about, cats being outside, of why that's not good for them, it's not good for them, because of prey, other prey, cars, traffic, bad people, what have you. But on the other hand, cats are predator animals, and they are responsible for the extinction of 33 species of animals. So another reason why not to have your cats outside, because again, they're very apt predators. That's their kind of whole gig, if you will. And so they have actually been responsible for the complete extinction of 33 animals. So make sure you don't bring your cat outside, because that's a whole other reason you're messing up the ecosystem. Cats are not native to Northern America per se. They were actually brought here by the colonials to help with rodent control. So some fun facts as well about cats is that 200 feral cats prowl the park at Disneyland doing their part to control rodents, which is super interesting. There are about 88 million pet cats in the United States, which makes them the most popular pet in the country. The first known cat video, which we all know that we like to watch our cat videos, Instagram folk, was recorded on 1894. So people have been liking their cat videos for quite some time. And that the first domesticated cat first appeared around 3600 BC. So super interesting cat facts, if you will. This one is up in the business as usual. Yeah, so super interesting cat facts if you want to look up more, of course. And of course, we're always interested in watching cat videos. They're always hilarious and cute and fuzzy. Let me know if you want to talk about cats. I will talk about cats all day long, much to my boyfriend's chagrin. I just love kitty videos. I love kitties altogether. I will never not have a cat in my life, ever. We'll just never not have a cat. They're just my animal of choice. They are my jam. So this one is being particularly naughty as she normally is, but that's just how they roll. Again, little dog monkeys all over the place. If you have questions about cats, let me know. Or if you were thinking about getting a cat and are maybe not sure about some stuff, I would love to help you with that, because we want kitties to be healthy, happy, and safe. And of course, when you think of death, think of me. Thank you for listening to this podcast. If you found value, please like, subscribe, and share. And be sure to follow me on all the socials at Sips and Tips with Lindsay. And of course, you can always go to my website, sipsandtipswithlindsay.com, to find more information about estate planning, business, snowboard, travel, and of course, wine. As always, we have to get the legal stuff out of the way. I went to law school, so you don't have to. However, we have to read the special disclaimer that I am not a practicing attorney. I am not your attorney. I am not offering any legal advice in any content or any episode. All content is for your information and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for seeking your own legal advice from your own attorney or other professionals such as a CPA or financial advisor. I cannot give legal advice and do not offer any legal services or legal advice, but I do offer some fun and educational content for you to enjoy.